Welcome to the show. Sophisticated Ignorance. Chris and Corey. Let's go. Sit back, vibe, have a drink. We're about to get into it. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of laughs and a whole lot of ignorance, man. This one for the culture. So tap in, vibe out, grab a seat, you know what I'm saying? Make sure your house nice and clean, burn a candle. We're about to get into it. Yeah. Sophisticated Ignorance. All right, man. Welcome back, man. I'm Corey Mack.
And my name is Chris.
And this is
Sophisticated Ignorance.
Hey. Welcome back to all the ignorant graduates, man. Episode 4.
Here we go.
Capito-Mess.
Capito-Mess,
man. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and let these people know what's going on, man.
Well, first and foremost, we got to apologize to YouTube. We didn't have
For
episode
sure.
3 video up.
Right,
we had some technical difficulties, but we be assured that, we going to have episode 4 and moving on, going to be up there.
Everything else
going to be all right.
So even though we don't have the visual for episode 3, you can still stream it on every podcast platform.
Yes,
so you can go out there and listen to it. We just ain't got the visual for it.
We definitely
man.
in the classroom kicking content as
man.
always.
And we appreciate all the love and support, man. All of it, man.
Yes.
I can't thank y'all enough for going out there, subscribing, you know what I'm saying, listening, all the feedback and text messages and stuff we've been getting, man. We appreciate that for real, man. Good luck.
Salute everybody.
Good luck.
You want to go ahead and jump into it, man? This state of the society, state of the
it's
the
messed
US,
up.
It's just all mess.
It's all mess.
We're gonna try to be ignorant as possible this episode, but we would be doing y'all a disservice if we didn't cover it. So I guess with that being said, let's go ahead and first and foremost, let's start with love. Let's go ahead and shout out the state of Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And Miss Stacey Abrams.
Shout out Stacey Abrams
and all of the young voters.
Real.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Shout out to them, man, for real. They stood up.
For standing up and coming to get them seats back from the other side, man. I don't want to say F the other side, but for the last 10 years, I don't think it's been a let's say, even playing ground. So we can say for the most part, now with hopefully the Democratic side taking back the House.
Right.
Or the Senate, I should say.
Getting that, making it even.
Making it even in a sense,
it
was split 50-50. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is going to be the deciding vote, and I'm assuming, she's a Democrat, so it may make it that way. But hopefully, they'll be able to work together and pass some bills and get some things moving and rolling, and we can quote unquote get back to some kind of normality and the crazy things that's been going on the last couple of days.
I feel like this win for Georgia and this win for Stacey Abrams is just bettering opportunities, you know what I'm saying, for the people. I feel like in some instances, Democrats are more in tune with reality
or
than
even with
Republicans.
I think it's because they're more in tune with the young people. I ain't going to just say it's all blacks because, there are black Republicans and black people of
just
all.
Like there's white Democrats.
Yeah, it's not always just a black and white thing. Granted, that's what this country kind of was founded on, and it is what it is. But there's definitely, I would say, a surge of young voters. In the past, I think my first time voting was probably 18. Was it 18 is illegal or is it 21? I think it's 18.
It's
I'm
18,
sorry.
I think.
I'm old now, but my first time voting, I was in college, and I believe it was when Obama was
Obama.
running. Yeah,
because I think before that it was George Bush and Al Gore, but
we
I wasn't old enough to vote. Yeah.
So I never paid attention to politics, till the last 8 years I've really done it. Even though Obama, I started, I was in school.
Started paying attention.
They kind of, not pressured us, but kind of put it on our radar, so they made us aware of it. So it's like we kind of got back into the groove of things, or got into the groove of things, I should say, not back in, but got into the groove of things, and it's looking like people are starting to wake up, and if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Raphael Warnock is the first black Senate member from a southern state, if I'm not mistaken. That's another round of applause for that, man.
That's a big round of applause for that, man.
That's something big. And the other winner, Mr. John Ossoff, if I'm not saying his name wrong, I believe he's a Jewish winner too. So we got
go ahead and give him another round of applause, man.
A lot of representation, and in a funny way. Here's how the universe is funny, man. Like, you see a lot of I don't want to jump ahead in our discussions, but a lot of these pro-Trump supporters, wearing swastikas and stuff.
Yeah.
To me, it's ironic that the two deciding votes for the Senate would be a black person and a Jewish person. That's just ironic as heck to me.
It is.
You know, not trying to be offensive, but it's hilarious that happens to, you know, people.
And I think a lot of that
it.
stuff be nonsense. You know, I think people just be throwing stuff out there. Oh, you know what I'm saying? The media, the propaganda got the world in a frenzy. Let me throw out some neo-Nazi bull. You know what I'm saying? Just to...
Okay. I know we might be jumping ahead a little bit, but just because you brought it up, I have to ask. You've been in the military. You're a military vet. When you are in war and you lose to somebody, and then you represent the flag of the person that lost, do you not realize that you're supporting something that was defeated? Like, how, if you're in the military, you support the United States of America, how can you carry a swastika or anything like that and say that I don't understand how you can be on both sides. It just makes no sense.
It's no way. And it's a different situation when it comes to like the Confederate flag, because the Confederate flag has two different meanings.
Yeah. A lot of people,
you know what I'm saying? A lot of people choose to see one side.
Yeah, they
don't choose to see both. It has, you know, Southern pride, and then also, you know, it got that racism
from the racist background.
You know what I'm saying? So I see both sides of it, but you know what I'm saying? Swastika. You in the army and you got a neo-Nazi flag or swastika and stuff. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what? What is the purpose?
It makes absolutely no sense. But I honestly, I wouldn't say I would love to talk to some of those people, because they just really don't make any sense to me, man. It's like common sense is very uncommon when it comes to people who choose to do things that just make absolutely no sense, man. There's really no words for it. There's no kind of explaining it. I don't even know where to begin with it. But let's get into some realness right now, man. We kind of want to talk to y'all about something y'all probably saw in the news, or, you know, if you've been watching. If you haven't watching, hopefully we're here to inform you, give you some education. But I want to say about last year sometime in Kenosha, Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So. Yeah. The whole Jacob Blake situation, we finally got a decision, which I'm not gonna say I'm surprised by, but like every other situation,
obviously we don't agree with it.
Obviously we don't agree with it, but every situation, you know, there was no charges or not charges, no, they weren't found guilty. Pretty much, they were, you know, probably still on administrative leave, and
right.
That's it. You know, it's a slap on the wrist in my eyes. You know, I was reading an article that was stating the DA was, you know, saying that it's hard to prove that the police didn't fear for their life because they were called for a domestic violence incident. You know, the mother of Jacob Blake's children called the police to come and help them with some kind of domestic dispute. And they got there and he was trying to leave, and they thought he was trying to reach for a knife, even though he admitted having a knife. I always thought that if it's not equal and opposite force meeting each other, then you should try to use other means. Right. Like, if I have a knife and you got a gun.
Granted, I can, you know, because I used to be, you know, I'm prior law enforcement, so I can see both sides of the table, like, but them officers had more than enough time to stop him from going around the car to the driver's side. You get what I'm saying?
Just to ask, like, just to theorize, if he did grab a knife and y'all have guns, then okay. But to shoot him in the back before he could even make him,
and then to me, and even if he did have a knife, I have a gun. Sir, you're no threat. It's too much distance in between.
That's my point. I could have run 100 yards away and still shoot you before you could touch me.
I can holster my weapon, pull my taser, and just fire my taser.
Exactly.
You have a knife. You have to be within more than 2 feet.
And I hate to always play this card, but it's just so easy to do. Like,
it is. It is. I mean, it's a hard card to play, but the easiest thing to do as an officer is shoot somebody. It's harder to talk someone off the ledge or talk someone out of a situation when they're, you know, 100% indulged into that situation. You know what I'm saying? So
it's almost like and I get it, man. Being a cop is probably the hardest thing in the world. I used to want to be a police officer. That was like my dream job at one point, and I guess the universe just told me it wasn't for me, because I ended up failing some tests and it just wasn't in my cards. But you risk your life for people you don't know, and then you know, you get categorized. Wait a minute, it's almost like being black.
Yeah,
people don't like you just because you got a uniform on.
Right.
Oh my God, look at the irony.
Not even to get off topic, but shout out to a lot of my road dogs that, you know what I'm saying, I was on the road with back in Georgia at the Department.
I got relatives that was retired law enforcement, retired correction officer. Like, that's it was in my family tree. So that's where I always looked up. My uncle was a police officer. He had a horrible case in New York. You know, walking home from the bridge. Yeah. People tried to rob him. He ended up killing some people. So, you know, shout out my uncle for still being here, man, because he couldn't. He could easily be gone. But not to jump too far of a topic. But
right. But back to the situation. It's definitely. I feel like
it's definitely a hard job, though, man. Like
it's a hard job, but
you don't get the appreciation you probably always think you should.
And then a lot of people, not to get off topic, but a lot of people, when you out there, man, you got a split second to make a decision. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you don't know what a person has. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not finna sit here and assume that you have this. I got a family to go home to at night. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going home to my family regardless, by any means necessary.
And I can understand that.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it was, matter of fact, shout out HBCU, Bethune-Cookman University one time. I think it was Miss Flint who told me this. The cops are, at the times, police officers, law enforcement, when it's, you know, time to, you know, meet heads with them, they can be judge, jury, and executioner right there.
Right
like
then and there. Right then and there.
It's a split second that they have to make those decisions on. Is this person?
And that's the hardest thing to do in life, because at the end of the day, I can't speak for all officers, but I can speak for myself and the ones that I do know personally. The last thing we want to do is take somebody's life. That's the last thing on my mind.
I couldn't imagine doing it.
It's the last thing, man.
So I guess I can say, you know, I can speak for myself. I'm just glad. I guess I'm not in that field, but it's definitely time for, I don't know if they need sensitivity training or some kind of like just common sense training, or maybe rubber bullets.
And when I was in the academy, bro, we had a lot of people that were scared. They weren't built for it. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't no job for nobody to be scared. You get what I'm saying? Because you're going to encounter scary shit every day.
That's the thing that bothers me the most, though. It's like, it seems, because I know I got this gun, that's the first thing I'm going to pull. Yeah. When you have a baton, you got a taser,
but it's repercussions. It's consequences and repercussions. There's some departments that'll leave you high and dry.
There's some, but there's not enough.
Right.
Because as we see, most of the time they get administrative leave. There's no charges because the burden of proof is too hard. It's like the state trying to prove that their own law, which is a whole nother thing about, we could talk about laws and how they outdated. Yeah. Which I was getting ready to go there, but I think I'm going to just save it. But the laws sometimes don't catch up fast enough. Like,
Nope.
With the whole qualified immunity thing. Like, if you do something wrong, you should be held accountable for doing it.
Like, regardless if you have a badge, you're a senator, it's even like nobody's above the law.
The judges are impartial to stuff, man. It's like they can get away with pretty much anything because they're impartial to certain things. But it just...
that's the problem with America, because the government, you know what I'm saying, loves to say nobody is above the law. But come on, man. We know it's two different Americas.
We're going to get to that.
Right.
We're going to get to that. It's definitely two different. It's two different Americas, man. It's clearly two different Americas, which we already knew. But the fact that we have social media, back to episode 1, social media, shout out to us, you know. Yeah. But just to circle back, it's without it, we wouldn't have certain things. We wouldn't be able to, you know, it's in our face now. They always say the revolution wouldn't be televised, but
now it has no choice to be televised.
It's just funny to me, man, just watching this stuff.
Shout out to technology.
Yeah, man. For real. As a young black person in America, finally being able to say, see, it's y'all. And not feel crazy.
Right.
Because, you know, not to play the race card, but it's just so easy to do, man.
Like, and at this point, it's 2021. You know what I'm saying? At this point in time and era, it ain't no race card.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I like that. I like that.
You feel me? It is what it is. It's no race card. It is what it is. Because we know, as long as I'm 31, so as long as I've been alive, it's always been black and white, not black, Mexican, Pacific Islander, Asian against white. It's always been black and white.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's just what it like.
That's just what it is.
Speaking of that, you might as well go ahead and take all the extra stuff off the job applications and offer everything, because it don't really matter at the end of the day.
Don't even matter.
So let's just go ahead and hop on to this next thing. Speaking of, you know, starting with the whole Kenosha stuff. If y'all were aware, there was another incident that took place involving a young man named
Can
Charles.
I say idiot on the air?
Yeah, you can say that.
He's a whole idiot. Threw his whole life away just to be an idiot.
He was trying to be a trooper, man.
Idiotic vigilante.
He was trying to be Batman in the Superman world. Let's put it that way, I guess. But this young man was charged with murder in Kenosha after shooting some protesters because he was trying to help out the police.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
I guess that was his excuse for it. But
Charlemagne. I hope Charlemagne gave him donkey of the day because he deserved big stupid donkey of the day.
So if you're not aware, he's an 18-year-old kid from Illinois. He's out on bail, but he was charged with first degree murder. Excuse me. Look at me trying to play judge. First degree intentional homicide, attempted homicide, reckless homicide, recklessly endangering safety, and illegal possession of a firearm. Wisconsin law does not permit minors to carry or possess a gun unless they are hunting. And if I'm not mistaken, at the time he was 17. So that would have made him a minor.
Yeah.
How he got a hold of a machine gun, we all know.
Probably
parents, got one in the closet, bought one off of Amazon or something.
He's 17, so parents are like, oh, you're off of 18. You can carry it.
It's sad because this young man was seen just walking freely down the street with one, no police interaction or nothing. I know y'all probably saw videos of it, and
in the video, I'm looking at the video. The idiot has on gloves. Okay, COVID's going on. You got on gloves, no mask.
This was pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID?
Yeah.
What he got on gloves for?
He don't want
it ain't his weapon.
He don't want to leave his fingerprints, I guess. I don't know.
Man.
But regardless of that, the fact that he was just able to freely walk around outside with no police I guarantee you, if we could take a video camera right now, if I did this same thing, I would be
encountered quick.
Less than 10 minutes.
But to me, anyways, I mean, I know it's a bunch of open carry states out there, but to me, open carrying is stupid anyways.
Yeah.
I don't carry a weapon for you to know I have it on me. I carry it
so I can protect myself if I need it. It's not to me to flaunt or show off or just be like, I got a gun, because
possibly can't think you're the only person in the world with a gun. They make guns every day.
Exactly. It's just crazy because I saw a post of him which has since been taken down, so I'm not assuming that it was him, but I'm going to let's play make believe and say it was him. Young man who similarly looked like him had a shirt on that said "free as fuck." Excuse me for cursing, but shirt said "free as fuck." So to me, in his mind, he believes that he's not going to be punished if this young man was him, allegedly, because we don't know for sure yet. But it was just interesting to see that. And back to your point about it being two different Americas, like, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't get bail or even be able to wear or walk anywhere. No, we're not getting nothing.
You ain't getting no bail, and you're going to get a free ass whooping right before they put you in the back of the car to transport you to intake.
Okay. We got a segment for y'all coming up a little later, a couple more episodes away, but just to kind of foreshadow, that's black people problems right there.
Hey.
Could you imagine you out on bail for doing something stupid, but you go to a bar with a shirt like that? What would your mama say?
Bro.
That's the perfect example of black people problems. We don't get stuff like that because our parents, most of our parents, the parent or parents we have, we know better. They raise us right.
They raise you better than that, man. Come on now. Come on now. You bet not dare embarrass your mama.
Man, come on. That's something that you learn from a kid. In Florida, we say the word jit. So people who not listening from Florida, you learn that from a jit. Like, you go to Walmart, you go to the store, you act right. You get to cutting up, you gonna get cut up.
You gonna get in front of everybody in here.
Don't care. You're not gonna embarrass me in this store, and I'm not gonna embarrass you.
Right. And this man, Kyle Rittenhouse, he just an embarrassment to his family, man. For real. Just, and I don't even care that he white or none of that. It's just for anybody to go. Why are you interjecting yourself into a situation that has nothing to do with you?
He wanted to be a trooper. I have no clue. I have no reasoning. I have no understanding. I just can't possess. I honestly can't fathom or even think about.
That's white. I think that's a white person. No, not even. White privilege is a superpower, but I think that's just a superpower amongst whites. They feel like they can just jump in and save the day, and nothing happened
because they look at themselves as if they are the police, and we're going to get into that later, but they look at themselves as if they are the police. And again, this is not all white people. We know that they're allies out there. And shout out to Killer Mike for bringing me attention to that word.
We know there's good and bad white people out there. I got a bunch of white friends.
Same. I got white people in my family.
Come on now.
It's not that. Don't do that. It's just all white people. But we do understand that there are some that feel like people who look like ourselves,
they're untouchable,
are beneath them.
Right.
They are part of the police. We're automatically bad just because.
They feel like they're an extension of the government.
Those people I would love to talk to. I just want to know, like, why don't you like me? Like, you don't know me from a ton of bricks. I could literally be your son's school teacher.
Right.
I'm educated enough to do that. Mm-hmm. But you don't like me because what? You assume these things, or maybe you see stuff on TV, or I don't like what you like.
Yeah.
It's just like, bruh.
It's stupid.
How many more cycles do you think the earth got left? I don't want to argue with you about this because I'm black, bro. Let's just live in peace. Can we all just get along?
And at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do about. I didn't ask to be black, bro.
Not even that. I didn't ask to come here. Your people came to my continent and picked me up because y'all didn't want to work.
Like, bro, what is?
Just to break it down, not to get all the way back to the slavery stuff, but it's just so it makes no sense.
You needed me.
Bruh,
you needed me.
You didn't want to work, so you was like, damn, let me go get some people to work for free. And now you mad that I'm here because you didn't want to take me back. Bruh, you really picked me up, didn't pay me for my work, and all I'm asking for is a ride back home. And I'll leave you alone, but nah. But now you mad because I'm here.
You can't even give me the ride back home, and I keep bugging you.
And I'm doing better than you.
Right.
And man, let me not get started.
Bruh, like I said, what episode was that?
Bro. Let me chill.
Was that episode... That was social media episode. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Black people are the culture. We are the wave. Nothing goes viral unless it goes through us. I don't care. Fashion, entertainment, anything. We promote it. We are the reason America booms.
America.
And I'm going to stand on that.
We are the reason that the world booms, bro.
I'm going to stand on that.
Bro, think about this. Granted, we know that America is not the only country in the world.
Yeah.
I don't believe either one of us think that or believe that.
Come on now, I went to school.
We definitely understand that black people aren't the only people on the planet. But for the most part, I feel like we're the most scrutinized. We're the most criticized.
At the end of the day, you can't tell me that we ain't the most creative.
We are. Oh, shout out to my wife. We are a fear and a fetish.
Yes.
Let me say that for the people in the back one more time.
They just said that?
Bruh, she schooled me one day. She took me to class.
I like that.
We are a fear and a fetish.
Yes.
Bruh,
yes.
How do you hate something you want to be like so much?
Bruh.
And this has nothing to do with young idiot, KR.
Yeah. It's just in general.
This is in general, bro. We are a fear and a fetish. You can't tell me that half of the people, which is leading into our next topic, that was at that Capito-Mess.
Capito-Mess.
How many of them people out there are cheering for the Lakers and LeBron? How many of them people out there? Now, it could be completely none, but Lakers, I guarantee you some Green Bay Packers fans out there. Because
how many of them love Kobe?
How many of them people cheer for their city and states college teams with black athletes on it?
That's at least 85% black
How
teams.
many times? Let's just use. I'm sorry to use this as an example, but let's just use Alabama for one example.
And that's one of the most racist states in the South.
Every football player on the team is black. The only person that's white is a quarterback.
And a few O-linemen.
And I'm just making
a sprinkle of O-linemen.
Of course, I know that there's more white people on the team.
Come on now. We know that.
The people you know are all black.
All black.
The person who just won a Heisman was black.
Black.
But I guarantee you, if he was in the store and you saw him, he'd just be another N-word. And I'm not going to say that word because I'm not going to use it in context now.
Right.
But he would just be another N-word. Mm-hmm. And it's funny to me because all these people out there, and I'm not saying that every one of them out there is always shooting their shot at a black person. Oh, you're this, and that. They could just literally be out there because they worship Trump that much.
Right.
Who knows? But for the majority of things that I've seen, heard, read, or even been encountered with, they've always had an issue with somebody black. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, I don't know. Like, black people could be minding their own business. Mm-hmm. And they'll find a way to make it about something.
But I think this thing that happened at the Capitol the other day, I don't even think it had nothing to do with black people.
That's the greatest part about it.
It had nothing to do with black people.
It wasn't on us.
They were mad that the other white people was kicking their dog out of the White House.
But the funniest part about it is, not even the funny, the most ironic part about it is, when we had our little BLM stuff, we had our peaceful protests. Even, bro, when they did not decide to charge, back to our original, segment of the day, when they did not decide to charge them police officers for shooting Jacob Blake, it was a peaceful protest. Mm-hmm. When, like, granted, George Floyd, we had to break some stuff down, but
I don't mean to interrupt you, but when are our protests never peaceful? Trayvon Martin, come on.
I went to one.
There's a bunch of them I can drop.
Shout out to Orlando, 94.1 in Tampa. I went to that protest. We was at the park.
When are we not ever peaceful?
What happens is, I'm going to assume right now, I'm not going to blame anybody, but in my conspiracy theory brain, this is what happens. They send people that they want to incite stuff to get it to look like it's a riot or a mob. Because we know that if we put something on the news that shows black people being cordial, dang, this is going to divert from what we really want. We were trying to, the message we're trying to display. Right. We want them to be looked at as animals, you know. Mm-hmm. And I'm not calling us animals because obviously I'm a black person, but somebody gonna clip that and be like, "Oh, he called black people animals."
Technically, we are, but not black people, but just humans. Period. You know,
I mean, humans. To be real, humans might be we might be the worst thing to happen to this planet, bro.
For sure,
because we gonna kill this.
For
shit.
sure.
But back to the original point I was trying to make, bro. Like, it's just funny how all these people out there hate for whatever reason, right? You know, they hate, like, they clutch their purse. You know, they don't want to be around us. They don't speak when we speak. Blah blah blah. It's happened to me plenty of times.
Like, bro. I'm gonna rob you.
Like, I'm like,
what the hell I want from you?
I got a job. I pay my taxes just like you. But because I look different, you assume that I'm a.
You think I'm finna rob you for that weak ass $50 you got in your purse and throw my life away for $50? Not even that.
I don't want your Android
at all.
I hate green text bubbles. I'm telling you. Don't text me with you green. I'm not gonna respond
at all.
But like, you fear something that you want to be like. Mm-hmm. What? Who said this? Was it Pineapple Express? They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah,
I might be misquoting the movie, but it was the same actor who said that. They hate
Malibu's
us.
Most Wanted.
Yes, they hate us because they ain't us.
Yes, sir.
Like, bruh, how can you hate something that you want to be like so much?
And that's crazy.
The good thing is, what I'm noticing, though, man, it's a lot of.
So is it hate or is it jealousy?
Jealousy is a form of flattery,
right?
So that's why I always say, like, I feel honored that people hate me so much because of my skin color, because you can't have it
for real.
Like, you nothing you could do. Like, there's nothing you can do. And I know this content right here, this episode might be a little cringy for people who don't like to listen to these kind of topics, but we will be doing a disservice by not talking about it. And if you don't listen to
these type of topics, you need to, because you need to.
And you got to get with it, man.
Expand your brain. You need to think outside the box.
You got to get with it, man.
You too old not to be, you know what I'm saying, in the know.
Yeah, again, we are a fear and a fetish, man. That was the craziest, most relevant thing that I've heard when it came to like black and white kind of relations. Like, even think about it from the young people. Like, there's so much interracial dating, and I'm not saying
a bunch of it. Now.
I'm not saying that young
it's
white
nothing
girls,
wrong with it at all.
I'm not saying
nothing wrong with it at all. You love who you love, regardless of color.
It's nothing like, I'm not saying that young white girls fear black men, but it's like. Think about the irony in if you have a young white daughter and you are completely against black people for whatever reason, but she likes
and vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa. Like, it works both ways. So I would never have a problem with my daughter dating interracially. I would just educate her on what's going to come with that.
It's going to be topics to talk about.
There's going to be hard things when you get into the politics stuff, when you get into the religion stuff, when even society, because people in society will pick at you all day. Oh, you shouldn't do this, but you got to do what you.
And it's crazy that. Even though, so say, you know what I'm saying, you're a mixed kid, your dad is black, mom is white, or your mom is black, dad is white. Us who can, not even me, you know, you got people out there who both parents are black, they feel like they are superior to those who only have one black parent, but yet they're still black. And you hate them because their mom or maybe their dad is white. They have no control over that.
It's like, speaking back to the movie Soul, remember how they was the people was getting their little patches to jump on Earth, like, you choose what you do. They jumping in to be your parent. Like, it's not like the kid is like, oh, I only want to be a all white person. I only want to be all black. Like,
and that's tough too on the kid, because when you get to a certain age and you get protests and stuff like this, or, you know what I'm saying, race wars, what side do you pick?
And then imagine the pressure that a kid that's like that in high school got to decide, because
you shouldn't even have to pick a side. You shouldn't.
I was one of the people who had white and black friends growing up my whole life. In middle school, I remember somebody told me I need to have less white friends, and I was like, why?
Why?
Like,
for what?
I didn't see stuff like that, and it's unfortunate because when you grow up fast, your quote unquote rose colored glasses come off. You know, like, you look at everything, unicorns, rainbows, everything is fine and cool, but then when you start getting into those topics, you got to almost choose friends. Right. It's like, everybody cool with playing with a ball and a stick, and then once your parents get there or your race get there, it's like, now we got to choose. Like,
right. It's kind of like how your homeboys used to be like, oh, well, you talk white. What's talking white?
Oh my God, I hate that.
I'm talking proper. I'm talking like I got sense.
I know how to speak English, so now I'm talking white.
Right.
Not even English. Like, I just speak normal. Like, to me, that's normal. What's the problem?
Right. Oh, because I don't use slang 24/7. I'm white now.
I mean, I could always use slang.
And that used to get, bro, that used to really, not to go off topic, but that used to get under my skin to the point where, like, I really wanted to throw hands because it's like, bro, you're not finna disrespect me like that because at the end of the day, what I do, my city is what made me. Like, the culture, you know what I'm saying, where I came from is what made me. So you not finna sit here and try to, you know what I'm saying, take my upbringing away from me because of how I talk. Like, nah, bro.
It's just crazy. But the good thing about that is you can live in both worlds and not have an issue.
Right.
But, you know, not to jump too far off a subject, man. It's just crazy how people, like I said, I know they be at sporting events. I know they go to these certain places that they cheer for instance, I'm sure some people that live in Tampa that hate black people that's going to cheer for the Bucks. Every time Antonio Brown catch a ball.
Of course.
Every time Mike Evans catch a touchdown, it's happy. But outside of that, it's like we only entertainment. And once the TV's cut off, it's back to like I don't understand how your brain can't compute. Like, I'm a person just because I play a sport. I'm still just because you don't know me and I have a, like, granted, people get robbed every day.
I don't see how they can look at a black child and see hatred.
I don't understand it, man. Even when I send my daughter to daycare, she got friends of all different colors. But, like, it's weird when you try to interact with the parents and you could tell they kind of just don't vibe that way. And it's like, my daughter go, he don't say hi to me. And I'm like, I have to explain to her, like, you know, mama, everybody doesn't, it's not polite. Yeah. Everybody's not going to say hi. So you just have to keep being you keep being nice, and don't worry about it. And then she'll go, okay. And it's like, it's so weird for a 3-year-old to notice that. Like, how a 3-year-old has to notice that.
And it's crazy you brought that up because my daughter didn't know the difference between, like, her skin, brown people and white people. You know what I'm saying? She didn't care to think about it. It's almost as if
God made kids to not see stuff like that.
Right.
And like I said, humans on this planet made it worse.
And then my wife told me when Rocky, whenever they started back school in Hillsborough County, but my wife was like, Rocky has a boyfriend. And I was like, what you talking about? Rocky was like,
boy, I'm not ready
my
for
friend
that.
so-and-so gave me a kiss on the cheek. He's a little white boy. Not that I care that he's white at all. I just care that my daughter thinks she got a boyfriend. That's all I care about. I care less about what color he is.
What?
Some little boy at school putting his lips on my daughter.
Nah, bro, that sound like wingworm to me.
Hey, who? Hey, you stop touching my daughter, son.
Back up, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But back to the topic, man. You ready to jump into
Let's jump into this Capitol stuff,
yeah, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
So what if you all are listening and watching, I'm sure you've seen it on every news station, every radio station, everybody talking about it. So we're going to go ahead and fill your ears up with it too. Fill your TVs up with it too, man. The Capitol was breached.
The Capitol.
Not with the
with an A.
With the O. The building.
With an O.
Excuse me. Quick disclaimer. This part of the program is sponsored by Angry Black Man. No, I'm just playing. But the Capitol was breached.
I'm not even surprised at it. I'm not surprised that they breached it. I'm more surprised at the fact that black people are amazed at the fact nothing happened.
I don't think we're amazed.
Don't know. As if we didn't know.
I think we're kind of like, I don't want to say even taken back because we're just like, bruh, we're not crazy. I think that's, for me, it's like we're not crazy.
But we know it's two different Americas. We know that. And the white people are the people who don't know.
Bruh, just to give context, man, let's just listen to what the president-elect had to say about this whole thing that went down.
No one can tell me that if had been a group of Black Lives Matter protesting yesterday, they wouldn't have been treated very, very differently than the mob of thugs that stormed the Capitol. We all know that's true. And it is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable.
That's President-elect Joe Biden talking about what happened at the Capitol with all of the, I'm not even going to call them protesters. I'm going to call them domestic terrorists because that's what they are. There's no protesting in breaking things, and the same way y'all told us when we destroyed Minnesota because of the George Floyd stuff. There's no protesting and looting and breaking things. And
everybody got their limit, man. Everybody has their boiling point.
What was y'all mad for? Election fraud. There was no fraud. Even people on the man team said there was no fraud. Let it go. No, I'm not going to concede.
I know why they were mad. People hate to be wrong.
You're right.
And they were wrong.
People hate to be wrong.
Tommy Loren.
I don't even want to say that.
I ain't even gonna say what I want to say, but eat doo doo.
She shot out.
Eat doo doo. You remember that tweet you posted? You know what I'm saying? About
but now even she's saying it's enough. You know, we got to just go ahead and let it ride. Like,
right.
I think.
But no, bro. Not to cut you off. She had made a tweet and said that if Trump loses, which he is not, Trump supporters are going to go work the next day, not ride and not do anything. Yeah. What happened? Who was at the Capitol?
He incited this whole thing, man.
Come on now.
Like the thing that was crazy about it being a breach, and I'm gonna get into my conspiracy theory bag after we kind of dissect what happened. No
conspiracy because I seen a video of them let the people in.
Bro. It's obvious.
They let them in. So.
And back to what President-elect, I'm gonna say President Joe Biden now because they already confirmed his win.
I got some words for him too, but I'll say
we'll save it. Yeah, Joe, we ain't letting you off the hook.
You're not off the hook, boy.
We gonna go ahead and talk about what we gonna talk about, but. If that was BLM, if it was 4 people with Black Lives Matter signs that tried to walk up them steps, they would have been shot.
That's the sad thing. 4.
I ain't talking about
a real crowd.
They had a crowd now.
Yeah, we ain't talking about a real crowd.
The thing that's so crazy is you call it a breach, but he told these people to go there the weeks before. Like
January 6th.
We know that social media, again, back to our episode 1. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. The good and the bad, this can be considered a bad. You know, like. You're inciting people to go do something that's completely, quote unquote, un-American because they don't agree with the fact that you lost and you can't accept it.
Listen, Trump had his boys pull up. You feel me? Trump was like, hey, okay, y'all want to kick me out of here? One phone call and it's over. Hey, January 6th, meet me here. And what they did, they pulled
But the
up.
thing that's crazy is he was in a bunker chilling, watching them. He wasn't out there. He wasn't doing nothing.
He was probably back there drinking champagne like, yes, sir, look at my dogs.
Not to even curve left, but is that what white privilege is? Did we see white privilege? Because people always say there's no such thing as white privilege.
Listen.
That was literally white privilege.
That was white privilege. I'm talking about on the biggest of stages.
It's literally like these people walked into a federal building that you're not even allowed to come in without clearances or even an appointment, nonetheless, I'm assuming. You can't just walk in there.
And it happened in the greatest moment. It was no better time for something like this to happen than right now.
We was at home chilling.
Right. But
we was at home.
That was the best time for that to happen during all of this, you know what I'm saying, this smoke and everything. It's like the smoke had cleared and then these white people had done breached the Capitol.
It's like,
and it really put
once again
white privilege on the big stage in front of everybody's eyes. There's no way you can sit here and say, you can't tell my people that it ain't real no more.
You can't.
There's no way.
And again, back to this point, I feel like I got justification for not being crazy because for so long they tell you, there's no such thing as white privilege. Black people always do this. We're always bad. We're always this. We're always that. But now look, we all at home following COVID mandatory rules, not going outside.
I hope every black person was at home with their feet kicked back on their couch getting fed grapes. Like, look at these thugs.
Look at these thugs and animals.
These idiots.
Look at these animals.
Bruh.
Destroying property.
I hope black
destroying
people got
public
the
property.
Laugh.
Destroying public property.
Oh my God, bro.
That we the taxpayers paid for.
It was what they did.
That's a shame.
It was a messed up day in history. But that was the greatest W for black people.
Speaking of history,
that's a dub for us. That's a W.
Of history, I hope when my daughter get in high school, they have this in history books because I know they're gonna try to omit it and say that, oh no, this wasn't something to talk about. But this whole last 4 or 5 years, man, should be in a history book of its own chapter,
own book,
its own book, let alone
own book, bro.
But it's like that,
and I wanted to be narrated by Morgan Freeman, straight up.
On the eve of the 6th of January in 2021, shit broke loose.
Yes, sir.
Him or Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. Bro. Samuel L. Jackson.
Bro.
Him and Morgan Freeman would kill that.
Kill it, bro.
But the funny thing about the word breach, though, to get back to that, the most secure literally place in the whole country that houses the president, which is the most important person. Listen to my air quotes, YouTube. The most important person in the world. The word breach in that makes no sense to me
at all. Breach is when somebody forcefully takes something over.
Granted, I was at the barbershop the other day. Shout out to my barber cut. I was at the barbershop.
Must be nice to have hair.
Hey man, I couldn't go bald. Like my head shaped weird. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
I'm struggling out here.
But he made a great point. He was saying white people who do stuff like this, they have skills. Mm-hmm. Like there's a bunch of hunters, there's a bunch of welders. Of course. They could have broken that bit easy from the underground. They know how to move the manholes and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And it got me to thinking, like, when black people when we try to do stuff like this, we don't come with the sense of trying to destroy things or try to even unearth stuff or breaking in things. We come to have our message heard, our voices heard, and leave. We try to do it a peaceful way. These people came with a mission to get inside there, like they was gonna go in there and make them change the voting, like change the number of votes. It's like
no way you can
81 is more than 74 or whatever the number.
He won by a landslide.
It's like
it was no competition.
Sense. But what I just want to know, what were they hoping the end result would be? They were just gonna say, well, okay, because you're here mad that he can stay in office.
You know what incited all of this for real before Trump even did it?
What's that?
When black people stood up and we got Obama in office, that's what kicked
that was the start
all
of
this
bomb.
off.
Yeah.
Boy.
They were like, we're gonna write this down. We're gonna get
all
you.
of this off. That's what popped.
You think you got it now? 8 years of this, buddy.
I'm telling you.
But okay, check this out. If he would have won again after 8 years, I guarantee you. No, check this out. He would have tried to change the law to make him stay president. He would have tried to change himself into a dictator.
Trump,
he would have tried to stay.
I thought you were saying if it was a way for Obama to do like another 4. Listen.
No, that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah. It'd have been a whole race war. If they had moved, if they had put in place a law where a president can serve more than 8 years and Obama had won for another 4.
Bruh. It would have been some sugar honey iced tea. To say the least. To say the least. Sugar honey iced tea with a capital sugar. It would have been some
You think them white people mad that Trump got to get out of there? Man. If Obama would have got another 4.
I seen a meme. It was Osama bin Laden. He was like, you mean all I had to do was walk up in there? Not to make fun of the whole 9/11 thing, but
or to make fun of what happened at the Capitol. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, but it's funny,
but it's not funny. You know it's only funny because it wasn't us this time. And I can't say it was us.
Right. Because we've been taking hella L's. The DC sniper, that was a big L that I ain't even see when we took that one. Because you couldn't tell
me. That's the only time in history that we as in skin-colored people were in the wrong. That's the only time we could shut up and just be like, you know what, y'all got it. Right. The rest of the times, it was y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
disclaimer, we are not racist at all, but life is
back
what
to your
is.
Regularly scheduled program. No more angry black man. Okay. To my I want to get into my conspiracy theory bag a little bit. I hope you don't mind. This is
I'm good.
Okay. This is I've seen a lot of things that were saying, this whole thing was set up. Most of the people were paid actors. The whole shaman dude with the horns and the fox fur and standing around with the flags talking about he's a spiritual being who can see light and all this other crap. Most of those people are paid actors, allegedly. There was a bunch of stuff floating around online. Again, social media is a place where you got to kind of interpret things and take what you will for it or take what you will from it. But a lot of people saying these paid actors, like you were saying, the police at the Capitol building were letting people come in, letting them do this thing.
Taking selfies and stuff.
I seen I'm going to be ignorant because I can be. I seen a police officer walking one of the protesters, terrorists, down the stairs after they had came out of the building. Like literally walking her, just, hope you don't trip.
It's not far-fetched that it'll be a setup or some of those people
that's where I was going. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was going. Like, is this a setup, back to your race war thing, is this a setup for a civil war? Like,
I believe it, yes.
Because our inauguration day is coming up. Trump said he's not going. Biden said, it's good you're not coming. Some people are saying he should invite him just to try to ease the tension. But I saw, people were talking about it, which made sense. In a conspiracy theory world, it made sense. What if this whole thing was staged just to kind of spark off, a civil war? Like, we thought 2020 was in 2020.
You got to do a lot to try to spark off a civil war.
Is this like a deluxe version of 2020? Like, how rappers drop an album and then they drop a deluxe with 3 extra songs?
I think they trying, man. But you would have to do a lot to incite a civil war, because you would have to play on the ignorance. But you would have to play on the ignorance of people, because in order to have a war, you would have to
one more time.
You would have to play on the ignorance of people.
Say it again for the people in the back.
You would have to play on the ignorance of people to start a civil war.
It's
two parties to a war, though.
Look at the side we talking about.
But listen, though, you as for the black culture, we don't go looking for nothing. We gonna finish it.
You right.
But listen,
that's the only part saving this. If we was as dumb as them, we would have been followed in.
Bro, let's go. You can't tell me.
But that's what I'm saying.
We be ready to fire something up, but I'm not gonna fire you up unless I'm benefiting from it,
or unless you personally attacking my family.
You feel me?
If we all at the crib chilling and y'all want to go out there and try to invoke us to come out, I doubt we come outside.
You gonna have to do more than call me the N-word with the hard R.
Come on, don't bother me no more.
What? Come on, you gotta touch one of my kids, my wife, or play with my money.
What's the old adage? Sticks and stones can
break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
It don't mean nothing no more. Like, it's almost as if that word is just like.
Because you saying the N-word with the hard R because you scared to put hands on me.
You saying that to get me because what they want you to do is attack them first so they can have a reason.
So that they can have a reason.
Like, them words don't mean nothing. Granted, it can technically be charged as assault if I want to be a dick about it.
And this is no knock to anybody, but if you're white, racist, or whatever, and you still feel like the N-word affects you calling somebody the N-word, they have a problem. It's not the fact that you called them the N-word, it's how you went about saying it to them. It's your mannerisms, the aggression. That's what I don't care what you call me. It's you in my bubble, bringing upon this unwanted energy. And now I gotta give you what you want. I gotta
protect my energy, and you're gonna get these hands.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Right. Because I really don't believe that there's no black person out there that care if a white person just walk up to me like, hey, nigger.
I think if that was happening to me, I wouldn't even double take it.
I would just look at him like, he is really on one.
Yeah,
and I probably would laugh. I would be laugh. Funny because I would have never in a million years thought that would have happened.
What's funny is when you laugh, it makes them madder. So then they try to do something else, and when they realize they can't get to you, they just go on to the next person. Mm-hmm. Granted, there's some people that will respond, but you got to get the wrong. You got to get the right one. You got to
find the right black person on the right.
But I will tell you this: if you get the right one, I'm gonna look into the camera on this one. If you get the right one, it's gonna be your last time ever using that word. Ever.
Listen here, I'm talking about one of them whoopings
like
where your mama done told you 1,000 times to stop doing something, and you done finally broke her favorite vase.
Hold on now. Some of the white people don't get that. Hey. They don't get that kind of discipline, which is why we have these kind of people.
I'm talking about it's one of them whoopings where you would get hit with that belt and you moving and your mama done caught you in the back. One of them.
You gonna learn. But
that's whooping.
Back to my conspiracy theory, man. Like, I feel like they're trying to get us to go out there just so because I feel like if it's a lot of black people that go to the inauguration, these same group of people are going to come back and look to incite some kind of physical violence on people. They found pipe bombs out there, bro. Like,
but it ain't like they ain't always been doing this though.
You're right. Like, I heard a comparison from forget where I heard it. Ronald Reagan to Donald Trump. Like, Trump is just Reagan part 2 because Reagan was like an actor, and he got put up in doing all this stuff. He was granted in politics before, but it's like all the stuff that happened during his presidency was literally the same. It's just like not literally the same, but it was close comparisons. But because there was no social media, we just not seeing it. So the good thing, again, back to social media, is that we have these videos, we have these audio clips, we have stuff to compare it to, so we can see and we can learn on the way.
Mm-hmm. And I heard somebody say a minute ago, I think it was J. Anthony Brown on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, like, what if technology wasn't advanced as it was? What if we didn't have the camera phones to record, you know what I'm saying? RIP to George Floyd, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But what if we didn't have the cameras to record that, you know what I'm saying? Or, the footage, the video cameras just for you to see the body of Trayvon Martin.
That right there would be, we would still be trying to fix
Jacob Blake.
It would be so easy to just dismiss
keep killing him and covering it up and keep going.
So I'm gonna wrap up my conspiracy theory stuff with this, man. Do you think it was set up? Do you think it was staged? What do you think?
I think it was half and half.
Half and half.
It's no different from like when Black Lives Matter was protesting and you stage bricks. Like, come on, man. Black people ain't bringing no bricks.
The funniest part about that whole thing is when like people would go and spray paint somebody's house. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, and using words that they know black people don't know. We
spell a certain way.
Yes,
we spell a certain way.
We're not going to use proper language when we trying to tag your house.
Like, and we ain't going to spell nothing wrong. If we spell something wrong, it's on purpose.
Yes,
and it's still going to look like the original word. Just a couple letters, you know what I'm saying, that'll be different, but it ain't going to be pure ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be a message that you can understand on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into some funny stuff, man, I heard you say you got some words for Mr.
Listen
Biden.
here, yes, sir. President Joe Biden, sir, you gonna within the first 100 days, you're gonna have to pay up. You're gonna have to show change, because I really feel like what he did was no different from what his people or what white slave owners did to the slaves. Like, you literally won the presidency off our backs, off the backs of blacks. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig that.
He has to
the stuff that you
make change.
All them letters I got in my mailbox about your
I'm telling
your
you,
platform, you got to stick to it.
All his
I'm not even
commercials,
talking about the $2,000 stimulus check and all that.
I'm talking real change.
My biggest thing, student loan debt, like jobs for people in certain areas, police reform, all that stuff. That's really important. Granted, the money is important, but we need to see something, because I think the reason why the country even got this bad to begin with, it wasn't perfect before, but at least it was tolerable.
Right.
People was just tired of normal politics, bro. And that's the reason why Trump probably won in the first place. Like, people was just tired.
They wanted something different.
They wanted something different, but I don't think that they really understood what they was getting. Like, he's just a loose cannon. You can't control a person that has
because they was like, okay,
of,
Donald, it doesn't work like this. You're giving out our secrets, and we don't even tell the world that.
But the scary thing, he still probably got nuclear launch codes.
Everything.
But not even to go, that's back into my conspiracy bag. But, you know, we just hope that you can hold up your end of the bargain, Mr. President, and do what you said that you were trying to do. I get it. It's going to take time and steps and all that stuff.
Because we definitely tired of getting let down.
Bruh.
Definitely tired of that.
Bruh. That's something that can't happen. But to back on the Trump topic, there's so many people, not even back on Trump topic, student loan topic. What's her name?
The 6-figure debt.
Not even
5-figure debt.
He had people resigning, like the
Secretary
of
Trump.
Education. Yeah, Secretary
yeah.
of Education resigned. Somebody else from the floor, like his cabinet, resigned because they didn't want to be associated with him. It's funny that we were talking about like him just being in a bunker, but like even when he tried to call on Mike Pence to say, "Hey, you know, help me recount the vote," blah blah. Pence was like, "You know, enough is enough." Like a lot of people that were on his side were just saying, "You know what, I'm done. I'm not gonna stand up for you no more." I heard a clip. I was watching CNN, and they played an audio clip from somebody who was in the cabinet before. Somebody in there was basically saying, we're not willing to break the law for him anymore.
Right.
Which to me only said, y'all knew y'all was breaking the law and doing illegal shit for the first 4 years or 3 years of this presidency.
In the first place.
And you just decided to keep doing it because it benefited you. And I feel like because the people who probably felt like they were unsafe that were in that building that day were like, oh, it's now affecting me personally, so I'm going to go ahead and do something about it. Like, what about all the other people that it affected before that? Like, y'all could have done something, and now they're trying to impeach him with 11 days. Like, what's the point?
Okay, Twitter, you going to suspend his Twitter account for what? He already did
that, bro. Like, what's the point? Like, deleting his Twitter account now is no different from when Nerdbag, the Avengers locked Ultron out of the internet after he had already released all the death bots and had the damn wherever Sokovia up in the air.
Yeah,
like what's the point? It's already fire. Like, granted, now what I saw, he tried to tweet from like the POTUS handle before they blocked that one. He calling the 75 million people who voted for him patriots. Again, he keeps spitting out rhetoric and stuff to keep these people on the hook. Like they believe in what he's saying. Like I saw people out there with a cross and Trump flags on the ground,
the news out there
praying to. I don't even want to talk about that, bro. Praying to a cross with a Trump flag, like he's God or somebody. Yeah. Like it's crazy, like how he can incite certain people to just.
And that's
I don't want to even make this comparison.
That's the ignorance of people.
But I don't speak German, but it feels a lot like Hitler to me.
It's the ignorance.
Like people just blindly
people,
follow stuff, man. It makes no sense to me.
Ignorance of people. People who don't go out there and forego, obtaining knowledge themselves, man. They're just the ignorance of people, and they're gonna always till the end of time be people like that, man. That's something you ain't gonna shake. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the world will always, you know what I'm saying, be what it is or how it is. Because I mean, like a couple episodes ago when you said, okay, Thanos was right. Okay, he's right in a sense, but okay, you get rid of 50% of the population. What's to make you think that you got rid of all the right people who can inspire or spark change.
I'm assuming that the hope is people will be grateful for that they're still alive, and then but
you're gonna always have people who don't give a flying F.
You're right, and the craziest thing is, back to the whole sports thing. We always come together when it's a Super Bowl. Everybody cool, always. Team versus team. I guarantee you, if another country was to say they about to bomb us, everybody will be on the same team because we don't want to die. We fight another country. Just like every time there's a war on terror, there's no racism about that. Everybody for the country. But as soon as that's over, we back to fighting each other. It makes no sense. And it's always black people that got to turn the other cheek and be the best.
But is that not with anything though in life?
But it's always, like you said a couple episodes ago, man, we always find light in every dark situation.
Everything, man.
Because it's like we always have to be the bigger person. Sometimes I'm just tired of it, bro.
Listen, COVID can't even bring us together. We can't even get on one accord for COVID.
You don't want to wear a mask. I got to wear. It's just like, bro, we all here together. Like I said, humans is the worst thing happened to this planet, bro. We gonna kill the planet gonna kill us.
And it's sad that everybody was on one accord for the death of Kobe. Rest in peace to Black Mamba. You know what I'm saying? But everybody was on one accord for Kobe. You feel me? And
that was less than a year ago now.
Less than a year ago, and it's crazy because it had nothing to do with politics. It had nothing to do with anything. It just showed you how, you know what I'm saying, fragile life is.
I had a whole entire conversation with somebody I never met before on a farm while a goat was chewing my pants about Kobe Bryant. Disclaimer, I was at work. I got a weird job. But I literally was on a farm somewhere I had never been before.
You ever been on a farm?
No, I'm saying in a place that I had literally never been.
Right.
Talking to somebody I met for the first time about Kobe Bryant passing away and how tragic it was, and, you know, hopefully the blah, blah, blah. Like, we was even talking about how it was messed up that the police and the EMTs were taking pictures and showing them at bars. Like, we was talking like we known each other, all because of a black person. Not saying that this person I was talking to happened to be racist or whatnot, but it's just weird how we can come together when it's somebody that everybody cares about, but nobody sees color until an idiot starts
political situation,
and it's crazy.
Or religion. How we got different churches. I ain't touching religion.
Yeah,
we not touching.
We not touching. That's not the podcast for that. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna touch. The closest we gonna get is the government stuff, but that's just because we gotta talk about it. The closest
we gonna get to religion is us thanking God. That's about all you gonna get.
But I kind of want to get into some funny stuff.
Oh,
it's not completely funny, but it is. First funny thing I wanted to talk about, man. The FBI literally posted on Twitter that they seeking individuals to help investigate the Washington D.C. incident.
Ooh.
How are you, the most known agency in the country, got taps on everybody's phone, got taps on everybody's cameras, everybody's computers? Y'all could literally walk up to Twitter and be like, hey, we want to know who this user is, where they come from, if they threaten the president. But now y'all can't find a couple people.
Right.
Speaking of finding people, Twitter PD is the best PD out there.
Any social media PD.
Bruh, nah, Twitter PD different, bro. They be finding people quick. Like the dude who stole the podium and was taking a picture, Florida man, of course.
But, I mean, that's easy. They can just take his face and just run it.
That's why it's weird.
Simulator and it's gonna pop up.
That's why it's weird to have them even ask for this. It's like, bro, all the technology out here and y'all asking us for help.
You think them street lights and them, you know, them video cameras on the traffic lights don't work, or they ain't set there for a reason?
The dude, I don't even want to give him credit for this, but the dude, I'm gonna just say RB from Arkansas, Richard Barnett. Let's just call it what it is. Who broke into Pelosi's office and stole her letter? He got arrested in Arkansas.
Yeah,
but it's like y'all just feel like y'all own this country, bro. It's like y'all can do whatever y'all want to do because y'all just feel like y'all own everything. And it's just crazy because it's just mind blowing, bro. I really want to get into something funny, but I just couldn't let those two things go away.
What was funny to me was when that lady fell off the wall,
bruh.
At the
did you hear the sound effects? They had the Super Mario Brothers.
That was funny to me. And that one video of the white dude who was like, "If it was Black Lives Matter, they have tanks up and down the street, but they got these crackers messing up my street."
Matter of fact,
you gotta play that.
All right. For
you gotta
YouTube,
play that.
I'm about to play the clip. YouTube.
Listen, you talking about Jeffrey was fed up. I don't even know if his name was Jeffrey or not, but we're gonna go with Jeffrey.
It might be.
Jeffrey was hot.
Hold on.
Hot, boy.
YouTube, y'all not gonna hear this clip, but we about to play it for the listeners out there.
Get the fuck out of town! Fucking treasonous pieces of shit! I know! They really destroying our city!
that in a nutshell, man, is literally the funniest thing I heard the whole time. Mm-hmm. It's only funny because it's a white person saying it. And it's finally just like you get the realization that it's not us, bro. We not crazy. Like people tell you, like I said before in this episode, man, people, we crazy, we thinking this and that. But no, we know it's not us, bro.
My boy called them crackers. He said the word crackers.
Did you see the meme of all the crackers on the steps?
Yes, bro. That was, bro, when he said that, I said, oh, that's
disclaimer.
Funny.
This is not a racist podcast. And this is no longer sponsored by Angry Black Man.
At all. So that was just funny to me that he used that word. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know who
of all the words he could have used.
Yeah, he could have used it, but
he could have used he could have used a plethora of words. If he would have used the
H word, that would have been a little.
But I'm saying he could have all the words he could. Uncle Tom, he could have used a bunch of words, bro, and he picked that one,
bro. There was a meme.
You know he worked with black people.
Hey, but that's the crazy thing. He couldn't, but he could just be being real, like you said. 2021, we gonna just say what it is, man.
What it is.
He could just be being real, like it is what it is at this point.
If you still getting offended. 2021, even if it was 2020, 2019, you still getting offended? Come on, man. You got to grow up.
I saw a meme that even Mike Epps was joking about it. It was him and, if you haven't seen Friday After Next, when they were security guards, I'm sure most people watching this and listen to it probably seen it, but it was, you know, they need top flight security in the world. It was him and Craig posted in front of the Capitol. They wouldn't have got in that building.
Right.
Let me see anything else funny I saw. I think that might have been the funniest. No, not the funniest. I did see a couple stimulus checks memes, you know, people breaking in there talking about I'm looking for my stimulus check. But, you know, that was just, I think that was the only light of it. Is like you said, black people find the light in all the darkest stuff, and just seeing the memes come from it. And even Trump getting his Twitter deleted. I meant to say this when you brought it up. You know, we find funny and we find light in everything. People are joking about it, man. I think you might have sent me the clip about the guy who was like mad about them taking free speech from us.
I don't even know his name.
Bruh, I wouldn't even give him credit for even mentioning him on here.
He ain't getting no spotlight.
How can you? I get the whole free speech thing, but you literally are the president of the United States. You literally incited a riot that did cost lives.
As if you were a nobody.
As if you was just a normal, not even if you were a nobody, because they block people all the time for doing stuff. They block people for saying racist things. They block people for saying hatred stuff. They block people for showing. You post a
nude on there.
If somebody report you getting blocked. So you telling me you're supposed to be the most responsible person in this country, and you are literally inciting riots. You've been doing this stuff for 4 years. And now people fed up with it, so you get blocked, and now all of a sudden it's a Second Amendment.
It's been 4 years.
That's another part.
It's been 4 years.
It just makes
time just fly,
bro. It just makes it so annoying. Like now, people want to say, "Oh, if they come for the president, people get blocked every day, b.
Every day, b.
Every day. Like I don't want to hear that Second Amendment crap. I don't want to hear, oh, they're taking his rights. If he was responsible, he wouldn't have to worry about it. Like that's the end of the story.
That's the end of the story, man.
Before we it's just so much we could talk about on this topic.
So much, but I don't.
We already at an hour.
Listen, we don't know. What's understood ain't got to be
exactly.
Explained.
We don't want to kill y'all with too much of the.
I'm telling you, we don't want to beat a horse with a dead horse with a stick. You know what I'm saying?
But I do got to say this one thing. I saw Plies post this, and if you don't know who Plies is,
shout out my boy Plies. Hey.
He said black folk get shot by law enforcement. The first thing they say is they shouldn't have been acting like a criminal. White folk get shot by law enforcement. First thing they say is they were being patriotic. White behavior is deemed patriotic. Black behavior is deemed criminal. That was one of the realest things I saw, because it's true, and it's so true that it's sad. It's like
it ain't even true to an extent. It is wholeheartedly true. Yeah, man.
There's
and that's
no
the sad part about it.
And again, like Max said, there's two different Americas, and we clearly saw that. The president saw that.
Clearly,
he said it. So there's no way you can ever say that we're crazy, that we just making stuff up, that we have no right to say XYZ. There's just no way.
And it's crazy. Now that y'all see, you know what I'm saying, or people, period, 'cause black people already seen it, but now that, you know what I'm saying, all the other races and other people can see that it's two different Americas. Imagine being a black parent, having to raise your black daughter or your black son or your mixed child, you know what I'm saying, who has a black mom, dad, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Imagine having to raise them through this or up in this, you know what I'm saying. Imagine having to tell your child that, hey, people ain't gonna like you just because the color of your skin, or you're gonna lose out on job opportunities or opportunities, period, because the color of your skin.
Speaking of that,
crazy,
I
bro.
don't even want to jump on it, but
crazy, bro. I'm gonna end it with that.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and close it, man.
That's crazy.
But you got man,
you already know.
Unfortunately, bro, this time in our country is like I said, deluxe version of 2020. Hopefully, is back to somewhat normal soon. Hopefully, we can. The good thing is, I can't say
I'm going in on 2021. It ain't nothing. There ain't nothing stopping me.
I'm getting to my bag and I'm staying out the way.
Big Kodak flex with the racks.
The good thing is, it wasn't black people. That's the best thing about it.
That's all you can take.
It wasn't us, man. So again, this portion of your podcast is not sponsored by racist. Mm-hmm. We aren't racist. We don't have any kind of
at all, man.
Hate in our hearts. We just keeping it real and spitting the facts. That's all we doing, bro. We just talking about.
This podcast was created to talk about things that need to be talked about that we had on our chest. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's okay to have them harder conversations. You gotta have them.
You got to, man. We're gonna get back to the funny. We're gonna get back to the ignorant. We're gonna get back to our normally scheduled stuff, man. But we just felt like we had to give y'all some of the real. So hopefully you took from this what you took from it, and we can move forward together. And you got any shout outs this episode?
Come on, man. You already know I'm dropping that banger. Shout out Mac Vision Photography, my wife's company, macvisionphotography.com. We're running a Valentine's Day special. So, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, go to that website, book, get you some beautiful pictures. My wife is great at it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm her husband. She real deal do great stuff, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy Baron Bucks, you know what I'm saying?
I did just see him on Apple Music.
Yes, sir. Up and coming Tampa artist, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him all the way, man. And shout out to Star Can Photography, my dog Calissa Harrison, you know what I'm saying? She over there. She's a great photographer too in the Tampa area, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. And shout out to Explicit Customs, my boy Dom, you know what I'm saying? My boy Dominic Gore, and my boy's doing hella good stuff over there, man. Go to explicitcustoms.com, man, to get you some good shirts. And that's all I got, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna keep it short and simple, man. I got one big shout out. We shouted out 305, I think it was last episode or the episode before that, but specifically I wanted to shout out my dog Polo John. I believe it's Dr. Polo John right now. Him and my boy Tupac on Instagram. Lamont Kroom. Let me say Lamont Kroom and John White. They got so many businesses going on down there, man.
Crazy.
They have
crazy what they doing for the kids.
They do
down there.
so much. I'm having a brain fart. Fatherhood Task Force. They give back to the schools, give back to the community, man. They coach football. They got dandy photography going on. John got Bacteria Blasters. He can come in.
Pop just came out with a book.
Yes, my boy's an author. Like I said, Bacteria Blasters, they come in and spray for the COVID stuff, man. I'm missing one. Flash and Splash Detail, bro. They can wash your car with no water.
Yeah, I
bought the solution. I've tried it. It works, man. Them boys have been on the grind since I met them. Literally, if it wasn't for John, I'd probably still be at Cookman, man. So shout out y'all doing y'all thing. I always looked up to y'all boys. Y'all always been grinding,
for real.
So shout out to them. You already know
what it is, Pop. For real.
Yes, sir.
You already know.
So with that, man, we hope y'all enjoyed this episode. We will be back with more. And from the classroom, we are out.
Hey.